The ancient Maya city of El Pilar, Spanish for watering basin, straddles the Belize-Guatemala border in the west and has been declared a cultural monument by both countries. Its geographic location is 12 miles northwest of San Ignacio town. However, the archaeological reserve is also accessible from neighboring Melchor de Mencos in the department of El Petén, Guatemala.
The site of El Pilar was excavated about in the early 80s by Dr. Annabel Ford, and it's one of the sites that she tried to keep as pristine as it is, not exposing the structure of the site. As you can see, just a small portion of the site is exposed, and it gives another ambient and experience for when you go to Zunantunich, Caracol, Alton Ha. You get all the building out, but when archaeologists do that work, it exposes the buildings to danger, and so Ms. Annabel Ford tried to keep the buildings unexposed.
As the largest site, covering a total of 5,000 acres within the area of the Belize River, El Pilar is co-managed by the Institute of Archaeology. Regrettably, this pre-classic metropolis off the beaten path is now virtually off-limits to visitors, as it has been overrun by bandits.
There's no escort, there's no security, and when we come here, we always run the risk of being robbed. This year, there's a gentleman that has a little ranch, a little farm, not far from the site. His place was robbed. Their workers, their cooks were all tied up. You know, their place, they had solar panels that destroyed all of that. And, you know, when tourists come over here, we always run the risk of being robbed.
Sheltered in large part by a shade of lush overgrowth, presented in a manner known as archaeology under the canopy, this forbidden location has remained under constant threat of looting.
We would bring people at a high risk out here to explain the formation, and it has like 5 different plaza floors that we see that is unexcavated, right? And so the plaza floors and the experience with the medicinal bushes that we have within the area is a big grasp to a lot of foreigners that want to know what we do in Belize, and this site exposed a lot of that to them.
Despite being listed among the 100 most endangered sites in the world, El Pilar is seemingly ignored by law enforcement, as well as the National Institute of Culture and History, which is charged with overseeing the upkeep and security of the area. Tour guides, including Patrick Bradley, fear that El Pilar will suffer a similar fate to that of Caracol in the wake of last Thursday's incident.
If Caracol is closed, we would need to go somewhere else, and this would have been the next area that we need to look into if we have to come to somewhere else. But if it's not safe, or we are not assured of safety in the area, a lot of people wouldn't take the risk of coming out here as well.
It is a rather unfortunate situation, especially since there has been an effort to ordain El Pilar as the first archaeological peace park in the world.
It's sad that, you know, we ask for help. You know, we always report these things to the people that need to know about it. A few years ago, the tourism police was even, they offered that anytime anyone wanted to come to El Pilar, that they would have had a vehicle available so they could come over here. But I think coming to a site with security, that's not the way to secure the site, because that just puts the tourists and puts the guide at risk. Because if I am coming in a vehicle and my security, the police is with me, you know, and if somebody wants to rob us and they jump out of the woods with guns, and if they see somebody with a gun, they're going to shoot.
It's a real fear, one which manifested itself before a group of tourists in Caracol a week ago. While that newfound reality has the nation in uproar, serious concerns are being raised about the threat to national security, the impact of poaching on the environment, as well as its effect on the tourism industry.
We know the Guatemalans have a hard time making life for themselves in their country, and in Belize, things that we do could make them a lot much more money for them to get through in life. And so when we come, we become a victim of them robbing from us, which we had before in the area. And so if we could get more of the personnel of the government to be out here, like what we have a little bit in Caracol, like the presence of the military securing the area. A lot of people, a lot of different tour operators have took the site off their tours because of the risk of losing and being robbed in the area.
Reporting for News 5, I am